All right. Good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Nicola. And today I wanted to come on to talk about teacher stress. Uh, I know many of you may be teachers, you may be parents, you may be stakeholders, you may be administration, paraprofessionals, teacher assistants. But if you work at a school right now during this time, it can be very stressful. Now, for one thing, I just wanted to say I came on today to say also that let's make it clear. Schools are open. Schools are open. And I believe the first step school systems should do to create a more stress-free environment for the teachers is to get in front of this propaganda that schools closed. Because to some people who don't have kids, who have been removed from having kids in school, and they're hearing schools are closed, they really believe schools are closed. Now, truth of the matter is, as an educator, I've never been a home teacher. I'm not a home teacher now, but this is the most work I have ever done as an educator. I take parent calls on the weekends because a teacher would call and say, well, I really need this parent needs such and such. The principal will call needing something. It seems like in this virtual world, we're working more. So you've got that kind of mind trip going on that, I'm working more. Everyone says school is closed, but I'm doing more work. I haven't had this much parental involvement with me as a technology person. I guess that's why I'm seeing so many more parents. But to feel like, okay, I got all this going on, and then people are saying the school is closed, and I'm working harder than I worked before. I'm talking about the homeroom teachers, paraprofessionals. Everybody seems to be working a little more. So you already have that stress. And like I said, it's a mind trip because you got people talking about school is closed, and then you're like, no, it's not. I'm working harder. Then you have that rift or this cavern that is being produced between teachers and administrators, not assistant principals and principals. I'm speaking of more at the board. I'm experiencing more and more teachers feeling as if school boards are not paying them any attention. Or the school boards are just want to hurry up and appease parents, and that's fine. But one thing we must understand, students and children are very resilient. And as long as we keep in a good certain pattern and keep things rolling, they conform very easily. Now, I'm not saying students shouldn't be in school. I believe they should be in school. But right now, we have to sometimes walk a little softly because of the pandemic. And it's teachers are scared for their lives too. For instance, you in a state, I'm in this particular state here in the South, every district is doing something else. Well, you can say, well, that's because some areas, COVID-19 is lower than others. But how does that put a teacher with kids? What kind of predicament did that put them in? Okay, you have somebody who lives in Cobb County but works in DeKalb County. Cobb County is doing something different than Decatur. You can't bring your kids to school if you're not in this situation. Can you imagine the stress on and these teachers, their parents too? We think about parents and we forget about the teacher parent. And so I wanted to come on live to see teachers, even if you come on later on and you see it and the live is over. I'm going to do more of these, but teachers, I need to know, do you feel that, my system is giving me enough help with the stress? And this is not a bang on it because I'm just interested as a consultant to see what you need. Many times people will want to consult with you or they want to do professional development with you. And it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I never believe that. I believe that you have to first start off at least getting to know the people you're working with because there's no such thing as cookie cutter professional development. That kind of professional development is the kind of professional development I just zone out in. One thing you feel is not for you. So it's important that I'm here today to want to know what teachers think, because I'm interested in doing an online course. And I don't want to do this online course. And I want to fill it up with a bunch of, I could do that, research, case studies. But I want to know what do you want as a teacher from your school systems? Because I do believe that, of course, school systems have set aside wellness and places and hotlines for teachers to call. But it's going to have to be a little more personalized, because we're already seem to be so far apart. And it's just so important to us to feel like we're still together. So I believe that uh, the healing, you might say, or the soothing of the nerves and the stress, it has to come from school-based. So it needs to have someone come in to evaluate that situation and find out what they need. And the only way you're going to find it out is to ask people, what do they need? Now, it's wonderful to do those little things at the end of the day. Maybe you're having a meeting. What's the best thing happen to you? What's the worst thing happen to you? And those things are nice. But we're far into a pandemic where people already feel very detached. We're going to have to come up with other ways to make our staff feel important. We all have those generic, and we appreciate everything you do at the end of the emails. I personally, I think at this point you need to take that down. Either make it sincerely yours. All those things make a difference. I'm telling you not what I think, but what I know. And people look at those things in time of stress and feel like, I bet you do care about everything I do. It becomes monotonous. It becomes fake. The first thing to bring down stress on teachers, you need to come from a place, fellow feeling. Now, I know, and traditionally it's them and then there's us. I even had a principal, old school principal, that, those principals that took the school as their personal property. She liked the fact that there was them and there was us, and that we collaborated, we cooperated as teachers and staff to keep each other out of trouble, you might say. Or if somebody was slipping, we helped them up. And she knew this and was like, it's just so great. I set up here and I had these rules for them to do. And the teachers, they help each other to do this. We're in a situation where that's not working. That would not work. Once again, the pandemic has really changed things. And even the way we do school. This can't be them and us anymore. You have to make everybody feel inclusive. You have to make your core feel good. Your teachers are your core. So you want to make sure they feel good. And I want to include the principals and assistant principals right now, because I don't think it's a great time to be a principal and assistant principal right now. I am hearing from people in Florida, South Carolina, administrative friends feel like, I sound like an idiot when I talk to my staff. I don't know what's going on. And they don't. So I even feel for them. And so you got all that kind of stress. And then you have people say, well, that's what unions are for. Unions are not for your mentality, and unions are not to help you deal with stress. And some states don't even have unions because they're a right to work, such as Georgia. So they don't even have a union. But unions is not what we're talking about right now. You need an advocate for the way we feel. You need someone to look out for what the teachers are feeling right now. You don't want this cavernous rift to grow and grow, because even after the pandemic, people are going to still feel, you really let me down, or, I really see what they're about. It's like, we're like little machines or whatever. And I don't want anyone to think that I don't understand students need to go to school. But what would you do if there are no teachers to teach? I mean, permanently, something happens. Your students they're still going to have to wait to catch on, or something, bring someone else in. And now the way teachers are resigning, and it is because of the stress. It is because of feeling left out in decision making. That's why it's so important to me that I reach out to teachers and give me what you feel and how you feel, and how can we help this? because that's what I'm about. I'm about trying to help the problem as a consultant. I'm not just out here just wanting to just, okay, I have this wonderful program. No, that's not me. I'm a person, I'm coming from just my mother making me read and learn and to feel of others, to the fact that I became a librarian. That's my foundation. I want to give you the right tools to do whatever you want to do. So it is important that you get whoever you do bring in, i.e., me or someone else just like me. You need someone to help you navigate through these things too. So you sometimes you might just want to do a one-on-one. More than welcome to reach out to me. My contact information is down there. Ultradyadactic.com is the website. You can sign up to the newsletter. We could do some chats. It does not matter. But as I'm saying now, this is why it's important to me. I want to help others. And as an educator, I just look and I feel like some of the educators being left out of the concern. There's no concern. And that is, it's like teachers are like mom, maybe. You could say sometimes you just kind of overlook your mom, but if you didn't have that mom, you don't know what you would do. So teaching is something like that. We seem to be as educators sometimes not regarded as the highest, not looked upon as, uh, we always have teachers, but you're not always going to have really good teachers. And you don't want to stress out what you have. You really want to jump in and show some fellow feeling for your teachers because everybody can't do this. Everybody, I do what I do because I had more than just a teacher. I had great teachers. And that's what you want to hold on to. Because yes, you can get a sub, you can go get a college student. I'm going to tell you right now, when I got out of grad school to be a school librarian, you know who trained me? Because I don't know why, the school I did my training in, I didn't know how to sign in. You know who trained me how to be a great media specialist? My para-pro, my librarian assistant, who did not have a 4-year degree. So don't tell me about, we could bring in some college students. That's fine too. But we're already behind a couple of a year now, so we really need to hold on to what we got as teachers. So I want to do this again. I want to come back on because I want to talk about, what do you feel as a teacher that you want? What would you want? How would you want to proceed? How would you want people to advocate for you? There's no advocates for us. You have to, and some people don't know how to be an advocate for themselves. They just don't. And some people they're just scared. One thing I want to say to teachers, my dad's a former Vietnam vet, and he has always told all of us, first thing you do when you get a job is get the handbook, the human resource and handbook, and learn your rights. Even if you're not a union, you need to really read that. And you could call me offline and I would tell you certain ways you don't want to progress in a situation. If you're not planning on going back to work, you don't want to work personally, you want to stay home. And some school systems are demanding you come back in unless you get a adopted excuse. You have to FMLA, ADA application, just so that you can stay home to work. You're not saying you want to be off. You just want to go home to work. People are putting those in there. It's everybody's flooded. They can't get them out fast enough. Then what do? Can you imagine the stress, the thought of that? Maybe you are taking care of your ailing parents and you don't want to be going out to the school and coming back, but you want to work. You want to do it from where you are. And I do understand also that there are special education situations, but I'm going to tell you, but what I've seen, the people I've been working with, those kids, it would be best to be at school because everything is there. But you have we're resilient. Students are resilient, and teachers better be. Come up with a way so you have some people, when it's safe enough, they're going into the students' homes. Oh, man, you can go out, you go sit in front of the students in the yard. There, you're outside. I mean, there's so many different things we could do. It's just, so not to make people feel like, well, you want me to go back? You want the teachers to go back into the school, but you have board meetings on Zoom with people not there. Now, with the board meetings, you don't want people there, but you want the teachers to go back in. That's balance. I mean, you could understand how some people just, and then if they're not in fear, they're obstinate and just, oh, everything is, I'm not doing, and we don't need that energy either. Because all that does is contribute to you getting sick, probably being more susceptible to getting COVID-19 or the flu or whatever. Because around this time we get flus and colds anyway. So it's really important. So, like I said, I want to come on today and I want to do this again, but I also want people's comments. And so if you do see this, please, please, please give me a comment on how you feel, what you think your system is doing better than others, because there might be some good things out there. But I would just like to see what others are out there doing, what they're going through. So I'm going to quit this right now. I don't want to be too long. It's been long enough. But I was really excited. It's my first didactic chatter. As you know, I am Dr. Nicola, owner of the ultradyadtic consulting firm. And we do children. We're doing student engagement trainings. We're doing classroom management, stress related. I'm really right now passionate about the stress relief on teachers, because it's a lot. It's a lot. But I know that we can all do it. It's just sometimes you kind of forget and take people, you kind of disregard them, or you forget how important they are. So it's very important here at the Ultra Didactic that we take everybody very important. And if you do have any needs, please reach out to me, ultradyadconsulting.com. My Instagram is also ultradidactic. Facebook, ultradidactic. So I'm going to do this more often, but for right now, if you do have any thoughts or whatever, please, please, please share them with me, and I will see you all later. And thank you so much for listening.